This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Let me close all these things. Yeah. So yesterday in the demo class we discussed about this example. I will not touch this example once again. Just we'll close that here. Yeah. The first thing is when you are going to work with the Java, or when you're going to learn Java, let me create it here. I'll make this is a new file I'm going to create here. Let me put it as a notch. Yeah. So we need to ensure that our dev environment is setup is done. So first one is we are going to install the Java installation we are going to install. Then we are going to take the Eclipse. Okay, Eclipse is these two things we require here, and another one is we need later point of time event, and here we require the one more is a Jet installation. It's required here. The first thing is when you take the when you are going to work with the Java. Let me introduce the Java ecosystem. So here, if you are going to the official site JDK downloads, downloads, if you are going here, there are a lot of versions. You will see that here, like JDK 11, and then the current version is it is a 16. Yeah, the current version is a JDK 16, and I have installed in my machine JDK 8. JDK 11 I have installed. Like you guys can, if you are starting, if it's not installed, you can get started with the JDK. You can get started with that. So industry is still using the JDK 8 they are using. Still most of the projects are running in a Java 8, and slowly the people may migrate. They will take their own time to migrate because Java is every 6 months they are releasing the new version they are releasing here. We cannot catch that speed. The projects cannot catch that speed. Always they will take the stabilized version. They are going to take it here. Okay. If you take the JDK 11, I have installed the JDK 11. We'll deal with the JDK 11, and you just download the Oracle JDK. From here, you're going to download this place, and where it will ask you the login. Okay, just we are going to say that JDK download. So when you are taking here, yeah, this is going to back and forth, or it started downloading. Yeah. Oh no. JSC downloads. I'm going to click on this. Okay. This is not happening. Oh no. Okay. Oh, this is not happening here. Download. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Here we will be taking here. Yeah. JDK. What is operating system we are going to use it here? You can download if you are installing the first time. I would ask you to install the JDK 16. I would ask you install. Otherwise, you go with the JDK 11. If it is a JDK 11 is already installed, yeah, you continue with the JDK 11. Windows X64 Installer. We are going to download this is the 64 we are going to download, and we are going to download this bin.exe file. So this may take a couple of minutes. It's like 151 MB. Almost this is the file. And once you download the JDK, then you are going to install. Just you follow the installation wizard. There is nothing complex in installing the Java. And once you have done that installation, you just check that in your command prompt, Java-version. So what is the version of the Java it is installed? You will get that here. And another one is a Java C version. What is a Java compiler version? You will see that here. In my case, so Java version is it is 11, and Java compiler version also it is 11. Suppose when you type in a command prompt Java, it says that it is an unknown. When you say that Java minus version, so when you say that here, if it is saying that unknown version or unknown command, if you are saying that here your Java is installed but it's not set properly in class path. Now I'm going to take the Java C. Yes, you have to log in with the Oracle account. You have to log in with that. Yeah. So you do the sign up of the. Okay, if it is asking the login, then you sign up with the Oracle website. You can sign up. Okay, you can sign up with the Oracle, and then you can log in and you can download the latest version. You can download that here. Yeah. Now let's look at here. Just we have downloaded and we have installed. Just imagine that we have downloaded and we have installed the Java in your machine. Okay, on your machine. Now here to get start with the Java, the Java, when you install the JDK, it is going to install the two major things. It is going to install here. One is a JDK, another one is a JRE. JDK and JRE. But the latest versions, everything will be installed in one directory. It is going to be installed. In old version, JDK will be separately installed. JRE is going to install this separately. Now here, JDK stands for the Java Development Kit. In order to develop your Java applications, what are the things are required? That will be there as a part of the JDK. To run your application, you have a JRE. JRE is a Java runtime environment, where what are the application you developed by using the JDK that you are going to run by using the JRE. So when you are taking here JDK and JRE, these two things. First, as a developer mission, you should be having the JDK, and JDK internally consists of the JRE. And when you are going to run these applications on the client missions, the clients who are for whom you have developed this software, they need not to have the JDK. They require only JRE, Java Runtime Environment, where it is going to take your executable file, and then it will execute the program to run what are the files you created by using JDK. We require the JRE. Now in our mission, we install the JDK and JRE. Both we have installed here. Now when you take any programming languages or any program when you are writing here, so always these programs will be written in one language. It is just you are going to write like this is a program if I'm going to create it in Java, and or if you are creating in a C language, or you can take the Python when you are taking here. Each files will have the one extension. The C file will be saved with the .c, and Python files will be saved with the py, and here in case of the Java, the files are going to be saved with the Java. The extension of the Java files is a .java. We are going to take it here. Now when you take the C files, it is a C, and if it is a CPP, we are going to use the CPP. We are going to use it here. And Python, then you have a .sql, .doc, .xl. There are a lot of different extensions are there. The Java files extension is .java. And once you create a Java file, inside this Java file, you are going to write a code. You are going to write a code. You will be writing some lines of code. You are going to write like this is you are writing in English. Yeah, you are going to write it in English, and this English is we can say it is a high-level language. High-level language which is understood by only humans can understand that, and machines won't understand this high-level language. Suppose if you are writing if you are coming from the C background, or if you know a little bit of the C, when I'm taking here Notepad. I'm going to open the Notepad. I'm opening here. So where you are going to write the hash include, you will be saying that stdio.h. So you'll be saying here, then we are going to write the void main or int main. You are going to write it here, int main. So this is a place where you would be printing what is the message you want to print it here. You are going to write it here. Just I'm writing here, print f. We'll be saying it as a welcome to the C world. Yeah, this is what you will be writing here. So here, this is you are writing like English. This is a high-level language you have written here. This high-level language, to translate into the mission understandable language, we require the compilers. So this high-level language, to translate into the mission understandable language, we use the compilers or interpreters. We are going to use it here. We are going to use the compiler, and this compiler will convert this high-level language into the mission understandable language. Again, then we are going to once it's the conversion is happened, then it is going to generate in case of the C language, it is going to generate the .exe files. It is going to generate. Then you will execute on your operating system. You are going to execute. The same thing with the Java also. So what are the Java program you are going to write it here? You are going to write it in a high level language you are writing here. Suppose if I am creating a simple Java program, I'm going to create it here. I'm going to create a simple Java program. I'm going to create it here. Just let me erase all these things here. I'm going to open the notepad. I'm creating here notepad. So hello world.java. Just I'm going to create a hello world.java. Yeah, already hello world.java file is there. Okay, let me create something new. Notepad hello Java. I'm creating hello Java. Oh no. I'm going to say it as a hello Java. I'm saying here. Okay, this is a file. Would you like to create a file? It is saying that yes, I'm saying here. Now this file is created with the hello.java. The file is created here. Now I'm writing here public class. My class name is a hello, and this is a place where I have opened and I have closed here. And this program, inside this, I'm writing a main method. I'm writing here public static void main string array args. This is a main method signature. We are going to take it here. And here we are going to write the message. To print the message on the console, we will be using the system is a class. Out is a field. Println, you are going to write the welcome to Java world. Welcome to Java world, we are saying here. Now, I have created a class. One thing is a very important point is here. The class, whatever you write it in Java, everything we'll write it in a class. You are going to write it here. Suppose if you are writing a C program, we don't have to anything, just you are going to write the hash include. Include, we are going to write it here, stdio.h. Yeah, just stdio.h. Then we are going to write the int main. Okay, then we are going to write the what is the message you want. You will be writing here. What is the message you want to print it here? Printf. You will be doing here hello, something we are saying here. This is the way you will write the C program. You'll write it here. In case of the Python, directly you can write the print. So just we are going to say it as a hello, which is going to print the message on the console. It will be printing here. This is in case of the Python, you will do that here. In case of the C language, you are going to do this here. Why I'm comparing that, I'll explain this here. Here, the C is not a object-oriented programming. You can write without class, without object, you can write the C program. Even in case of the Python also, it's supposed to be both object-oriented and the procedure-oriented, where you can write the without class. But Java is a pure object-oriented programming. Whatever you want to write logic or whatever you want to do that here, it has to be inside the class. You have to create a class. Inside the class, here the main method signature is what? Int main, you are going to write it here. In case of the Java, main method signature is this. Public static void main, and you are going to take the string args, and we are going to give the args, we are going to write it here. And then in order to printf, we are using the system.out.println. S is a capital, system is a class, out is a field, println is a method. By using that, we are going to print the welcome to Java world, we are printing here. So this is the major differences if you are coming from the C and Python backgrounds. So keep in mind that like it is a pure object-oriented program. Whatever you are going to write the code, you have to write it in a class. The class can have the methods. The first method is we are going to write it as a main method. Inside the method, you are writing the logic. What is the logic you want to execute? You will be writing here. Now, this is a language which is like a English we have written here. The Java is we have written. So we created a public class hello, public static void main. Then you are going to write it here, and we are writing the system.out.println, where you are printing the welcome to Java world. We are printing here. This is a high-level language, which is understood by the person who is coding that, but the operating system will not understand. The microprocessor will not understand the high-level language. To convert this high-level language into the mission understandable language, we use the Java C. Java C is a Java compiler. Java C stands for the Java compiler. We are asking the Java C, where this Java C is available. So if we look at here, Java C, and here we are going to print the echo, or we will say that where is Java? I'm going to say that. So which Java also it didn't recognize. Here it didn't recognize that here, where I can say that percentage Java underscore home percentage did not print this here, echo. Yeah, this is a place where my Java is installed. Okay, echo, we are going to say that percentage Java underscore, this is a place where my Java is installed. If I'm going to the directory, I'm going to this directory and you will see that there is a bin. You are going to see Java C. Java C is a compiler. Java C is a compiler and we are using the Java C compiler. Java C compiler we are going to use it here, and this is available in JDK bin directory. The bin directory it is having the Java C it is having here. To tell your operating system this is a place where my Java is installed, we need to set the Java home. We need to set the Java home. Suppose I have installed my Java in program files Java, and this is a place where we have installed the JDK. If you are installing here, to tell that this is a place where your JDK is installed. Now here I can show you that like JDK 16 we downloaded. You can go on to open this JDK 16. I'm just showing the installation of that. Okay, this JDK 16 I'm going to install. Yeah, in the latest versions of the JDK is one advantage is like you can have the multiple versions and you can set the what version you required. Now I'm going to click on next, and you can see here my JDK is going to install in 16. It is installing in program files Java JDK. This is a place. I want to keep the default directory. It may not take more time. It will take a few minutes. Okay, suppose if it is asking you to register when you are downloading the JDK, please register with them. Okay, it's free. They will not charge you any amount. So then you can, whenever, because they want to keep track of the how many people are downloading the JDK. They want to know that. That's the reason they made it as the email ID, sorry, registration process. Yeah. Now I'm going to close this here. Now if you look at here in my machine, I have a multiple versions of the JDKs are available. I have a multiple versions, JDK 16, JDK 11, JDK 8. Earlier, it is not possible. You have to have the only one JDK. From JDK 8 onwards, the JDK 9 onwards, you can install the multiple versions of the JDK in your laptop or in your machine. You can install that here. Now, how do I change my JDK version? Now, I want to use the JDK 16. I want to use it here. You copy this path. You go to the edit system environment variables. Edit system environment variables, and here we have environment variables. You go to the Java home. Now currently my Java home is pointing to the Java JDK 11. It is pointing here. If not there, you create a, this is a Java home you create. If you are installing the first time and if you don't see that, in your case, what you can do here is JDK home. You can set the what is the path you have installed. Okay, I'm just keeping my path. This is a path I'm going to put this here. In your case, you just see that where you have installed. It might have installed in a C drive or D drive, whatever the drive you installed. First, you are going to set the JDK home you are setting here. Now I'm done with that JDK 16. And you go to the path variable, just you edit that. You just check for that. Is there any JDK? It has set it in a path. Okay, you are going to see that here. Is there anywhere JDK set? Okay, JDK is 16. It is there. Just I'm going to delete this once again. I'm going to add the new. I'll be adding here /bin. I'm going to add it here. So in case of the path variable, don't delete any of these things. If you delete that, your operating system may not boot also. Okay, you add the new variable. You add it here. JDK path along with that bin. You add it here. Now I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Okay, that's all we need to do the setup of the JDK. And here you can check that here, is there any JDK 8 in your case? Yeah, here nothing is there. So that's what one thing we are going to do it here. Now what I'm doing here is, once again I'm explaining that here. You just type here edit system environment variables. Okay, Yeah, I'm not administrator. So here it is asking the credentials, environment variables. You go to the Java home. Suppose if Java home is not there, okay, if Java home is not there, you just create that here. Java underscore home. You paste this is a path. This is a place where my Java is available. What is the advantage of install? You are setting the Java path is throughout the system, anywhere you can access the Java you can access. So we are setting the one variable. Hey, this is a place my Java is available. You are saying that operating system at the time of booting itself, it knows operating system knows where your JDK is running or Java is running. And then there is a path variable. In path variable, you look for the is there any JDK you have set that here. If it is not there, you create a new variable and you add the bin for that. You add the bin directory, you add it here. That is a place where all your executable files are available. If you look at here, this is a place where your Java C, Java commands, all the commands are available in bin directory. It is available here. Once you are done with that, then you close this here. Now you go to the command prompt. You open the command prompt once again. If previously, if you open the command prompt, you close that here. Now I'm going to say that Java-version. It should say that Java 16 I'm using here. And I'm going to say that Java C-version. What is the compiler version? It is going to say it as a Java 16. Now I switched from Java 8 to the 16. I have switched. So if you are installing the first time, this is the same thing. You will do that here. Same thing you are going to do that here. Now this recent versions has provided flexibility. You can switch to the different versions of JDK. You can set that what is the default JDK you required. You will set it in environment variables. You are going to set that here. Once I have done with that, now I'm going to see that here. Already we created the one Java class we created here. This Java class, the Java program, which is having the extension is a .java. And whenever you are creating the Java file, one more thing we need to remember, one more important point is, whatever the name of the file you have given, and the name of the file and the class name must be the same. If you are given the hello.java, your public class name must be the same name. Hello.java, we are going to give it here. Now I have written, don't worry about the, if you don't understand what is a static and void and all these things, we will discuss in detail. Yeah. In Java, most of the times we will say that, no, don't worry, at this point of time, we will discuss later. That dialogue will be used very often because when you're learning some things you don't understand clearly in the day one. Yeah, you just do it. You follow the Nike. Yeah, just do it. Then in like in upcoming sessions, you'll understand why they have taken the public static void main. What is the significance of the main method? You'll understand more details about that. Okay. Now here, once you save this program, now this program is written in a high level. Now I'm going to compile this program, Java C hello.java. The moment I compile this program, it is going to generate the a dot class file. It is going to generate here. Now here, if I'm going to this is a directory. Okay, I'm going to this directory. Yeah, this is the directory I'm going here. So you will see that there are a lot of files. You are going to see that here. Better, I'll create a one folder. I'll create it here. Yeah. Okay, dir, make a directory. This is just we are going to say it as a sample. We are going to say it here, cd sample. And here we are going to say that, yeah, I'm going to create a new Java program. I'm going to create it here. ls if I, or sorry, dir if I see that here, this directory is empty. We don't have the any files in this directory. It is going to say that here. dir is a displaying the directory information. We'll use the dir. Now I'm going to open the notepad and I'll say that hello.java, hello world. I'll be saying it as a Java. This is the extension. So this notepad, when I'm opening that, it is saying that, boss, I did not find in this current directory with this file name. Do you want to create? It is asking that. I'm saying that yes, it is going to create the new file. Hello world.java. It is created here. Now I'm going to type the public class hello world. This is my class name. My file name and my class name must be the same. I'm going to take the hello world. Here we are going to take it here. Then you are going to write a main method, public static void main string, and here we are going to take the aux, and this is a place where you would be writing here system.out.println. So this is a place where we'll be saying here, welcome to Java world. This is a program we have written here. Now I'm going to compile this program. In order to compile this program, I'm using the command called the javac.helloworld.java. So if the compilation is successful, then it will generate the one .class file it's generated here. You see here, the moment I compile my program, it has generated the hello-world.java I have written, and my program is compiled, it generated the .class file, it is generated here. When it generated this .class file, okay, in case of the C and other programming languages, if you take that C language or CPP, or you are going to take the other programming languages, when you compile this program directly, it will generate the executable files. Directly exe files or .sh files will be generated. And this exe files only runs on the Windows. This sh files which is going to run on the Linux. The whatever you generated files, if you want to run that executable files on the Linux or Linux executable files on the Windows, it is not possible. This we call it as a platform dependent. This concept we call it as a platform dependent. But Java people, what they decided, hey, once I write my Java program and my target, I have a different operating systems. This is a Windows, you have a Linux, you have a Mac, like this you have a different operating systems you are having here. Once I write my Java program, that should run on the any operating system. Once I compile my program, that should run on the any operating system, it should compile and it should run that. To provide this behavior or to provide this feature, what they did was, in between, they introduced the one abstract layer on top of the operating system that we call it as a JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and which will be the Java Virtual Machine will be inside the JRE, Java Runtime Environment. But once you compile your Java program, you can run on any operating system wherever JRE is present. You need to install the JRE here. You need to install the JRE here. You need to install the JRE here. Once if you install the JRE on this operating system, once you compile this program, this compiled program, it is not going to generate a exe file. Instead, it will generate the .class file. This .class file contains there is something called the bytecode. There is something called the bytecode. This bytecode is a specific to the JVM. Specific to the JVM. It is not specific to the operating system. It is a specific to the JVM. JVM stands for the Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine. Now, whenever you give these .class files to this JVM, JVM knows that how to translate the bytecode instruction to the underlying operating system. Bytecode instructions to the underlying operating system. This is the job of the JVM is going to do that here. So this is the way they made it as the Java is a platform independent. You compile once, you can run on any operating system, and wherever JRE is present, you compile on Windows machine, you can take and run it on the Mac, you can take it and run it on the Linux, you can take it and run it on the Unix, or what other operating systems are available. Any operating system you can run, but provided that you have installed the JRE on their machines. So whatever you are compiling program, it is going to generate a intermediate file that we call it as a .class files. This .class files contains the bytecode instructions. These bytecode instructions are specific to the JVM. Only JVM can understand these bytecodes. Once it receives the bytecode, it will translate the bytecode instruction to the underlying operating system it is going to translate. This is the way they made it as a Java is a platform independent. Now, once I generate the .class file, now how do I run this .class file? Now I have to run this .class file. In order to run this .class file, if you look at here, there is a Java interpreter. There is another executable file. You call it as a Java. We need to start the Java. And so far, my .class file is running in it is created in a hard disk that has to get it into the RAM. Then it has to start executing. That the bytecode instructions has to be translated into the underlying operating system. Then it should execute my instructions, whatever I have given in this program. to do that, we have to start the Java runtime environment. We are using the command called the Java start the runtime environment by loading the hello world. There is no class, nothing. Just you are saying that, hey, you start my Java runtime environment by loading this .class file. Then when you execute this here, which is going to execute, and it's printed the welcome to Java world. It's printed here. So this command, what it does is that it is going to read this .class file from your hard disk and it will load it into the memory. It will translate into the underlying operating system instructions and the program is going to be executed. So this is the way the Java program will be executed, a simple hello world example. Now here, so there is a Oracle beautiful documentation they have given here. So the Oracle Java tutorial, if you go here, there is a lot of content is available getting started with the Java, how this Java internally works. I can closer look at the hello world example. Okay, just I'm going to take the closer look at the hello world example, how this hello world example works, Java technology. Okay, just I'm going to take the hello world application. Okay, these are the different examples they are given here. How you are going to execute on the Windows, how we are going to execute on Linux. They told everything. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Somebody has a question?
Yeah, Lakshman. Are these class names or case sensitives?
Class names, generally we will follow the naming conventions of the class names. Is the class name starts with the uppercase, yeah, and if there is another word, if the class is a class name is a combination of multiple words, every word will be starts with the capital letters. And answer to your question, yes, class names are case sensitive.
Thanks, Lakshman.
Yeah. Getting started, and what is a Java technology, and what is a Java, and this is the way here we are going to we can see this documentation. What about Java? If you're checking here, they are saying that simple, object-oriented. These are the features of the Java. Just I'll text you one or two concepts. I'll touch it here because other things is when you're learning, you will get familiar with that. It's a simple means. So any programming language, when you are saying that, the people will say that it's a simple language. Any programming language. When you're learning the C, also people will say, if I'm teaching the C, I'll say C is a simple programming language. Java is a simple programming language. Simple means it doesn't mean that like you can learn it in 1 week or 10 days time. The simple means what are the existing language has got the difficulties like the memory management and then garbage collections, yeah, and the pointers, virtual functions, friend functions. These are the difficult concepts in previous languages, existing languages, and these guys has been eliminated. They made it their language as a simple. We don't have the pointers, virtual functions, friend functions in Java. It's a very those all concepts has been eliminated and they made it as a language simple. Okay, and when it comes to the architectural neutral means, we can say it as a, you can compile your program, you can run on any operating system. Okay, you can compile it. It's not platform dependent. It is always a platform independent. And when you say that it is a robust, it's a strong programming language that like you can write the defensive programming language, you can write it in Java because it has provided inbuilt in exception handling. Those all mechanisms has been provided. That's where you can say that robust, and it's a pure object oriented programming language. You can say that what are the object oriented principles? All the principles are supported in Java. Now how this first Java program is going to execute, this is what. First, you will write a Java program. Then you are going to compile that. It will compile the program. It is going to generate a .class files. Once it generated the .class files, then you are going to start the Java virtual machine, and which will be executing on your operating system, and it's going to display the output. Now here, if you look at here, you write your Java program, you compile once, whatever the .class file is generated, you can go and run on any operating system, either Windows or Linux or Mac, and ensure that there is a JVM is present in that machine, where JVM is present in that machine. So this behavior, we call it as the platform independent, platform independent. So what is the Java C and the Java commands is this is a main explanation about the Java C, where this Java C and Java is present is here. Java C, if I like it here, Java compiler. Java is a Java interpreter. To start the Java runtime environment, we use the Java command. To compile your program, use the Java C. We are going to use it here. Okay, this is the way you will be writing a simple hello world example. You are going to write it here. Now let's take here another example. We'll do that here. You are going to do a simple calculation. You are going to do it here. Now what is your requirement is here? You are going to take the three numbers. Let's take it as a number 1, and I'm going to take the one more is number 2, and I'm taking the three numbers. I'm going to take it here. Number 3 I'm taking here. Now I'm asking you to find can you find we don't know what is the value, it is stored here. We don't know what is the value, it is stored here. We don't know what is the value, it is going to be stored here. Now we need to find the sum and average. We have to find the sum and average. Sum and average, we need to find it here. When you are doing this question is asked, hey, can you tell me what is the sum of these three numbers and what is the average of these three numbers? Don't worry about the programming. Okay, if you are starting the first time, you are learning the first time programming, don't worry about the programming. First, how I'm going to solve this here. Now, if I'm giving the number 1 is a 10, I'm going to take it here. Number 2 equal to, I'm saying it as a 20. Okay, number 3 equal to, I'm going to take it as a 30. Let's take it as a 10, 10, 20, and I'm going to take the 10. I'm taking the 10 or 12, I'll take it here. This would be better. Okay, this is what we have taken here. This is the integer value. This is also an integer value. This is also an integer value. Integer value means the number without floating point values, that we call it as a integers. The number without floating point values, without decimals, we call it as the floating point values. With decimals, we call it as a floating point values. Without decimals, we call it as a integers. Now here, what is the requirement is here? I need to add the three numbers. I need to add it here. Suppose if you are doing the mathematically, what will you do? Sum equal to, I'm going to say that here, number 1 plus, I'm going to take the number 2 plus number 3. Okay, this sum typically will take all the integer values you are adding here. You will get the result also integer, the sum value you are finding here. We know that how to find the average. Average equal to sum divided by 3. I'm going to take it here. This is a place where I will get the average. Sum divided by 3. If I am writing here, I'll get the average. Now here, when you are writing the same thing, this is what you are writing here. This program, whatever the algorithm you have written here, and we need to translate it into the programming language. Before that, we need to understand. Now here, number 1 you have written on the paper, number 2 you have written on the paper, and number 3 you have written on the paper, and we are assigning some values. In case of the computer's memory, this is just imagine that this is a computer's memory. You are going to take it here, and I want to create a one value here, and that value I want to store it in a 10, and I want to label that. That label is I'm going to give it as a number 1. I'm going to give that label name is a number 1. I'm going to give it here, and here I'm storing this value as a 10, and I need to tell that. So what kind of data you are going to store it in this location, that you are going to tell by using there's something called the concept called the data types. Okay, data types. And what is the label you are going to give it here, that we call it as the variable. We call it as a variable. The name given to the memory location, we call it as a variable. I'm declaring the one variable in the computer memory, and I'm labeling that as a number 1, and I'm storing the value as a 10 into it. The same way, you are going to take the 2, and I'm labeling this name as a number 2, and 3, I'm going to take it here. I'm labeling it as a number 3, and which is we are storing it as a 12. These are the 3 variables we created here, and these 3 variables of which type we have a different data types. Now time being, I'm taking it as integer data types. These are the integer data types. I'm taking the 3 values as 3 variables I created in the memory location, integer types. Now I need to do the sum. I'm going to declare the one more variable. This I am labeling it as a sum, and I'm doing the number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3. That means value at the number 1 plus value at the number 2 plus value at the number 3. So 10 plus 20 plus 30, 12, which is going to be 32, 42, it is going to be, you are going to get it here. And average equal to one more variable I'm creating here, sum divided by 3. That means value at the sum, that's a 42 divided by 3. So the 42 divided by 3 means, which is going to be, so 3 ones are 3, okay, 1, and this is a 14. You're going to get the 14. 14, you are going to get it here. This 14 will be, we are labeling it as average. So this is a way, in the computer's memory, if you want to allocate the variable, or if you want to create a variable, first you will declare the, what is the data type you are going to create it here. I'm using the integer data type. What is the name of your variable? I'm giving my variable as a number 1. And what is the value I'm going to store it here? The value is a 10. This is the way you are defining in your program. I'm saying that, hey, can you reserve a integer data type memory, integer data type variable, you reserve a memory. Integer is going to take the 4 bytes memory, it is going to take it here. In the computer's memory, it is going to reserve the 4 bytes, and that memory location, it is labeled as a number 1, and you store the value in that memory location is a 10. You are going to store the memory location value is a 10, you are going to store it here. Then you are going to write it here. Number 2, you are going to write the number 3. Then you are writing a int sum equal to number 1, number 2 divided by number 3. You are going to add all the 3 numbers. Then you are finding the average equal to sum divided by 3. And later you are going to print these values you will be printing here. So whatever you have written on the paper, the same thing we are translating into the code we are going to translate. So when you are translating, the names will be different. Here we are giving the number 1, number 2, number 3. That we call it as variables. And when you are declaring the variables here, you are writing on the pen and paper, and you know that what is the value. In the computer memory, we need to tell that for this particular variable, how much memory it has to be reserved. That you would be specified by using the data types. And what is the value? It should store it in that location. This is what we are going to use, the assignment operator we are using here. And we are telling that, hey, assign this 10 value to this memory location. 10 value to the memory location. At any point of time, if you want to get the value at this memory location, you can use this variable name. You can get the value. Whenever you are referring to the number 1, it is not going to give the address. Instead, it will give the value at this address, value at this location. What is the value? It is going to get that here. And that you are going to do the manipulations or computations, you will be doing that here. The same thing if you are writing a program, Java program you are writing here. How are you going to write that? Let me show you that here. I'm going to open the notepad. Okay, and I'll say that sum and average.java. So this is a program I'm going to create it here. Just I'm saying the yes. Okay, let me erase. Okay, let me keep it here. Yes. Okay, can someone tell me? Yes. How are you going to start?
Yeah, need to create class.
This is a program you are going to write it here. Sum and average for your program. Now you know what is the name of the class I should. Public. What is the class?
The same.
Can I use the hello?
No.
Can I use the
class name and file name should be same, right?
Okay. Sum and. Okay. Very good. Yeah. Next. What are the next step? Now, in order to start your Java program, you need to create a main method. Correct? Public static void main, and here we are taking the main method signature is args. We are going to write it here. Please make a note here, and the string is a capital S. String is a capital S. Whenever you see the class names, you will see every class name starts with the capital letter. Okay, now we are done with that. What is the next requirement? We need to define 3 variables we need to define. Int number 1 equal to, I'm going to take it as a 10. Okay. Int number 2 equal to, I'm going to take it as a 20. Int number 3 equal to, I'm going to take it as a 30. we declared the three variables and we assign the number one value is at 10, 20, 30 we assign here. Now what is our requirement is here? We need to find the sum. Sum equal to number one plus number two plus and number three. If you follow the coding styles also, you are opening the curly braces, you are closing the curly braces, and we have given the some space here. And at the same time, wherever I am using the operator, every time I have used the left hand side one space, right hand side one space. That is always a good practice. So because it's more readable, its readability will be more. Like whenever you are using the operator, I'm doing the number one plus number two plus number three, and then we are going to do the average. Float AVG equal to average equal to sum divided by 3.0f I'm taking here. Why I'm saying that 3.0f is, whenever you divide the integer with the another integer, always result will be the integer. The result will be always a integer. We don't want to get the integer result. We want to get the floating point result. I'm dividing with the float value. I'm dividing here. 3.0f means it is not an integer. We are dividing with the float value. So what does it mean? Suppose I'm doing the 7 by 2. We are expecting the 3.5. Correct, but it won't give the 3.5. So I can show you that what happens internally. CMD I'm going to open. There is a J shell. Okay, when you open the J shell, so this is a Java interactive shell where I can divide with the 7 divided by 2. If I do this here, you will get the result as a 3. You'll get the result as a 3. You are going to get it here. The reason is, whenever you are dividing the integer value with the another integer value, always result will be the integer, which is the highest data type that is going to be written. Suppose same thing I'm going to do it here. 7 divided by 2.0f. If I do the, you are getting the 3.5 I'm getting here. What are the highest data type here? The float is the highest data type. Then the result also will be float. It is going to take it here. Whenever you are doing the expression, evaluating the expression, highest data type will be, it is the expression result will be returning the highest data type. What is the highest data type and lowest data type when it comes to here? The array, sorry, in Java we have the byte, and there is a short, then there is a the character. We have a different data types you are having here, char, and then there is a data type called the int. Like this, you have here different data types you are having here. Then there is a float. So the float is a much bigger than the integer. So whenever you are using the integer, if you are dividing with the another integer, always you will get the integer as a result. Instead of that, we are going to divide with the floating point value. You will get the float result. You are going to get it here. Once I get that result, in order to print this output on the console, in order to print my output on the console, I'm going to say it here. System is a class, system.out. System.out means you print it output on the standard input device, that is a console. That's a console. Out that what you are doing here, println the sum of, we are going to say it here, plus number one, plus we are going to say that here number, comma plus number two. Okay, comma plus number two, comma, we are going to say it not comma plus, and we are going to say it as a number three, plus we are going to say that is, we are going to say that here sum, we are going to print it here. Okay, there are so many pluses I have used. What is this? What is this? What I want to display here, my output is should be like this. Now the sum of this output I want to print it here. The sum of number one is a 10, comma, and then 20 and 30 is, then what is that value? It is going to become the 60. This is the output I want to print it here. Whenever you want to print that output, what are the message you are writing here? Your message will be always in a double quotes. Whatever you are printing the value at that variable, you will be writing without double quotes. Just we are adding the sum of, then we are concatenating the number one value, then we are concatenating the comma and the space, then we are adding the number two, then we are, that's number two value is a 20, and the 30 value we are going to add it here, and finally is your own input. Then we are going to print the sum value. So whenever you are using the variable, you shouldn't be putting inside the double quotes. What are the custom message? Your own messages, the messages you are printing, that should be in the double quotes. This is the way you are going to write it here. Finally, you will be getting the sum of 10, 20, and 30 is a 60. This is what output we need to get it here. Then we want to print the one more message. You are going to print it here. System.out.println. We are going to say that the average is just, we are going to print the plus, and I'm printing the AVG. Now I'm intentionally I'm giving these some errors. I'm making these some errors. What happens? Just we'll see that here. Now I did these some errors. I've done that here. Now I'm trying to compile my Java program, Java C. The sum and average, we are going to compile this program. It is going to give this so many errors it is giving here. You can see here, hey, line number 8, you missed the here, something you missed here. And line number 9, you missed the something. Line number 11, it is expecting the end statement, it is expecting, it's clearly, it is telling that here. Now go back, line number 8. I'm going to add it here. Here you are missing something, it is saying that here. This is what I'm going to say it here. Now finally I'm going to compile this program. Then still it is saying that, hey, you missed the line number 11, you missed that, it is saying here. Now I'm going to add it here. Okay, now there is no problem. Now I'm going to compile this program. So there is no problem, compilation is success, and you can see here it has generated, the .class file has generated. So suppose if you want to compile the multiple Java programs, you can give the, suppose if I'm deleting the del star.classes, I'm going to give it here, star.class files. I'm going to delete all the .class files have been deleted here. Okay, I have deleted all the .class files you deleted. I want to compile these two programs at a time. I can use the Java C star.java. It is going to compile the two class files. It is going to compile. How many .java files are there? All the files it is going to be compiled. Now I'm going to use the dir. It has generated the two .class files it generated here. One is a hello world .class. Another one is the sum and average. Both it has been generated. Now I'm going to say that here Java hello world, not hello world. We want to run the sum and average. We are going to run it here. Don't give any dot extension. Just you are going to run it here, which is going to print the sum of 10, 20, and 30 is a 60. The average is a 20. It is going to print it here. So this is a way you can write a simple example where by using the notepad, how you are going to write your Java program, how you are going to compile your Java program, how you are going to run your Java program. And for today, we'll write the last program, and that is a sum of natural numbers. Okay, I'm going to create a notepad. Sum of n numbers. Okay, sum of sum of n numbers. We are going to say that here. Sum of n numbers.java. I'm going to save it here. This is a file. Now I'm asking to create. Okay, sum of first natural numbers is, you know that suppose if I'm giving the 10, sum of first n natural numbers is what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus up to 10, which is going to be a 55. Okay, 1 plus 2 plus, if you add that, it is going to be 10. We know that what is the mathematical formula for that. Okay, n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2. That means 10 into n plus 1 is this is 11 whole divided by 2. This is a 5 this is a 55, is a 5 into 11 is a 55. So this is the way mathematically we can solve this problem. Now sum of n natural numbers, when you are finding here, n into n plus 1 divided by whole divided by 2. n is a 10 into, then we are going to take it as 11 divided by this. This is a problem you are going to solve it here. Now how many inputs you require here? We require only one n value. Then you are going to declare the one more variable called the sum variable, and this is where we are going to apply the formula. The result we are going to assign to the sum. The n value, if I'm taking the 10, so here we'll write a formula or expression. You are going to write it here. This expression result we are going to store it into the sum, and with that we are done with that. Okay, can someone please, how are you going to do this problem? Can someone? Yeah. Class, I'm going to take here sum of n numbers. We are going to take the class name. Yeah, go ahead, please. This a class name is I'm going to make it as a public.
Then write main method.
You write the main method. Okay. Public static void main.
String logs.
Okay. Yeah, I did it. Yes. Yeah.
Then create one variable.
Okay. Int n equal to what is the value? I'm taking the 10. You can take the any value because we don't know how to get the user input. That's the reason I'm hard coding the value. Okay, go ahead. What is the next one? We need to find the sum of n natural numbers. Okay. Int sum equal to what is the formula? n into n plus 1. Okay, this is what we are going to put it in a bracket. N into n plus 1 whole divided by 2.
Yeah.
Or if you want to put the one more bracket, you can put this bracket. Now you will be clear. So the brackets will be given the more preference. N into n plus 1 will be added, and it's multiplied with that. Whole result will be divided by the 2. Now here, then you are going to say the next statement is system.out.println the sum of first. Okay, the first n value plus n value you are going to print it here. Natural numbers is okay. We are going to display the result. We are going to display here. That's it. That's all we are going to write it here. Okay, we are going to write it here. N value are taking it as a 10 and n into n plus 1 divided by whole divided by 2. Thus printing the sum of first n value is what? 10. Natural numbers is what is the value? You are going to print it here. This is a value we will be writing here. Now I'm going to compile this program. So Java C, the sum of this is what I'm doing here. If there is a oh, it has compiled and it has run that. Yeah. So when I'm doing here Java C, this is what we are going to compile. Yeah. Then to run this here, Java, we are going to give it as a command. So the sum of natural numbers, just we are going to give it here. This. So we are saying here sum of first 10 natural numbers is 55. First 10 natural numbers is a 55. You are going to get this value. So this is a way you can write a basic programs. You can write it here. The basic examples, whatever you are going to write it here. This is what, like, you know, this will ensure that your setup is done, and at the same time, so how we are going to get started with the hello world example, how we'll be writing that. And tomorrow I'll discuss about the what is the data types, what are the operators we have, and how we are going to use it here. And 99.9% in our projects, we will not work on the notepad. We always work on the IDEs. Will work on that. Like now, you people to get practice, you first use the at least 1 or 2 days classroom examples. Use it in a notepad. Then you switch to the Eclipse, because Eclipse is going to give you the lot of help, and at the same time, it will, if you do any mistakes, immediately it is going to tell you that, hey, you have done this mistake, you corrected that. Yeah, let you make the mistakes, and then you go and correct it that by using the notepad. You type each and every line without taking the help, so that you will remember for a long time. And what are the classroom examples today we discussed? Practice today itself. And if you need more practice questions, tomorrow session where to go and get the more questions, I'll be discussing that. So before I wind up, any questions? If you have any questions.